technology. I really do. But anyway, so I'm just going to give it just a few more minutes since I think Facebook just went live and Instagram is still coming up. So I'm going to give it just a few more seconds and then we will start our show today. I'm so excited to be with you guys. I really look forward to Sybarite Sunday. I really, really do. As you know, it's kind of our time to get together, be intimate, be naughty, be nasty, just have some intimacy because it is so lacking right now. I swear. This virus ain't no joke. I can't believe how it has really affected all of our lives and to the extent that it has affected us. So anyway, I'm going to get started. I'm going to say welcome to Sybarite Sunday live. As I said, this is a time for us to get close, get intimate, really just spend some time together to be erotic and sensual and all those good things that make us feel good. Don't you love it? I do. My name is Deborah Porter, and I'm the face of my brand, Oh Yeah, Right There. And so every Sunday we get together and I read some erotic short stories, erotic poetry. We talk a little trash, talk a little sex talk, get a little nasty, as I said. And I love it. I'm just so, really like super happy that you guys have joined because I know there's a ton of things you could be doing. And so to sneak away for a little bit on a Sunday and join me, I'm really happy about that. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're going to get started because today I want to spend some time talking about fantasy. Because especially in this day and age, the era that we're living in with COVID-19, where we can't sometimes necessarily be sexual and intimate with a real live partner because of social distancing, I say, as I have most Sundays, that unless you are married, have a live-in lover, or someone that you trust explicitly, it's hard now to be sexual, to be intimate, to be erotic, have sex, make love, because we're distanced, we're socially distancing. And so you can't do all that with a mask on, baby. So today we're going to talk about one of the things I really enjoy doing, and that is fantasy and role play. I think that is, if you're stuck, let me tell you something, if you're stuck in your relationship in terms of, it's Tuesday night and we go to bed and do this and that's the extent of it. If you're stuck, I swear to you, if you would try some of this role play and fantasy, it will totally wake and shake shit up. It really, really will. And so fantasy is one of the things I love to do. I think I mentioned to a girlfriend recently that some of the best sex I ever had was with a man who loved to role play, and we would go to bars and restaurants and just play out these fantasies. And so, listen, try it. If you haven't tried it, try it. I did a short poll earlier in the week and asked the guys how many of you have been blindfolded during sex or foreplay. And believe it or not, most of them said they had, which I'm kind of surprised because sometimes when you bring out handcuffs or blindfolds or silk ties or something, guys be looking at you like, wait a minute, what you doing? No, I ain't gonna let you do all that. So I was kind of surprised by that. But it does make me happy to know that people are involved with foreplay and fantasy and all that good stuff. So that's what we're going to talk about today. One of the things I wanted to quickly go over before we read some, I've got some really good poems and poetry and stuff, is that the beauty of wearing a mask with your lover is that it is a sensory deprivation of your eyes. So in other words, you can't see, and so it takes away one of those senses. And what that does is it enhances and heightens the senses of your sound, what you hear, what you taste, what you can feel. And so blindfolding is one excellent way to play out fantasy and role play. So go buy a blindfold, girl. Get him to put that on. Hey, Jess, I'm gonna wave back to somebody here on Instagram. So have him put that on because it will heighten all his other senses. And so I just kind of wanted to go over that because when you do that and you take away the eyesight where you can only hear, and as I said, it heightens all these other senses, it will really enhance what he's feeling. So if I can't see, you using a feather or something like that, when you stroke it across the skin, it is incredible. So I encourage you to try a blindfold on occasion because it will definitely heighten all the other senses. And then you can do things like burn candles or have aromatherapy or even using your breath. You know how I'm always telling guys, use your voice in sex, that becomes a part of the act. Use not only your voice, but your breath. Now, please don't just go in there blowing some hot breath. Please brush your teeth or use a mint if you're going to be in your lover's face, blowing in their ear or on their neck. But those things are so incredibly sensual, and I'm telling you, it will turn things around in the bedroom for you. So I want to read. I'm going to read today a couple of things. One, let's see. There's so much good stuff out there. I have a poem, let's see, this is by Little Southern Belle. Little Southern Belle, and she has a poem called Blindfolded. Blindfolded by Little Southern Belle. She says, trust me to lead you tonight. Let all of your other senses take over. Touch me, taste me, smell me, hear me. Simply put, enjoy me, sir. Let totally go. Allow yourself to get caught up in our shared experiences. I want to show you a brand new world. Do you think while blindfolded, you think you could still seek me out? Would my sweet scents lead my man home? Let's try it and find out. Could you tell my body from another using only your fingertips? I have no doubt that you can. You've mapped it all out. Would the taste of my skin awaken your manhood, causing you to throb, longing to have me? Are my hungered whispers in the dark what will turn you on? I so hope so, because this little girl has got a lot to say. Isn't that sensual? Doesn't it take you there? That's what I'm saying. It takes you there. Again, that was Blindfolded by Little Southern Belle. But I love this because in the first stanza, she says, touch me, taste me, smell me, hear me. Those are all the other senses that are heightened when you are blindfolded. So I love that. That was Blindfolded by Little Southern Belle. So let's go back to talking about this being blindfolded. As I said, it enhances all of the other senses so that you hear better. And so what better way to draw your lover in than to whisper in their ear? Ladies, I know a lot of times we want guys to whisper in our ear about, what they like and what they like about our bodies and who we are and, what they want to do sexually. But sometimes we have to reverse that and be willing to blindfold your guy, get in his ear, and tell him exactly what you're going to do. I also have a very, very good friend who I'm hoping to be on the show because she's an excellent writer. She's done some short stories and poetry. So I'm not going to name her, but she'll know who she is when she sees this. But anyway, she really turned me on to a little thing that she does with her lover, and that is have him sit in a chair And she'll either blindfold him or not, but either way, he's not allowed to touch her. And if she doesn't have a blindfold on, then she will either masturbate in front of him or touch herself. But if she places the blindfold on him, then she then does a lot of touching of him. I just thought that was so way cool and such a sensual, erotic thing to do. And as you know, my big thing is we've gotten away from eroticism. It's like we don't understand the art of seduction any longer. We don't know how to seduce and to entice. And that's what a blindfold will do for you, baby. I'm telling you right now, it will change your world in the bedroom. So I want to read another poem. This one is a little longer, but it's called, this one is called Blindfold. Instead of blindfolded, this is blindfold. I'm trying to figure out why my papers are not staying where they're supposed to be. Anyway, so this is Blindfold, and it's by the student. By the student. It's called Blindfold. He wanted to blindfold me, and at first he wasn't sure, but I let him tie the cloth around my eyes as I lay on his bed. Trust me, he whispered. The sound of our breathing sounded strange under the blindfold. He leaves me in the dark for a bit, filling me with anticipation. I want him to touch me, feel the breath catch in my throat. And then his tongue finally begins to explore my ear. And it's so different, so arousing. He's done this 100 times before, but this time, oh God, he's pulling at my nipples, and I sigh and moan in strange delight. His hands on my belly gently stroking as his tongue moves down my throat. My skin is alive. My ears alert to every sound. The moist suck of his tongue, the shift of the sheets. My mouth opens wide in sensual astonishment. And when his hands hold my hips, and his tongue tentatively begins to work its way down to my pussy. Oh, I cry out in ecstasy. He never felt so good. My hands groped for him blindly, and he pulled himself towards me so I could kiss him. His still wet from my excitement. I feel his erection knock against me. I'm throbbing with the want of him. When he rolls me onto my front and enters me from behind. He pushes deep inside me in a rush of escalating sensations. I grip his hands. I want him harder, and the blindfold slips, but that doesn't matter anymore, because gasping and moaning, his penis plunges into me again and again, and a wave of pleasure is rising within me. He doesn't stop. He doesn't stop kissing my back, my throat, my hungry mouth. And when the climax comes, it's beyond everything. It's pushing and surging, incredibly feeling deep inside the heart of me. Faster and faster, the feeling grows, and I cry and scream. My senses drunk and spinning with him. And with that one final thrust, he comes inside me, his warm semen filling me up. He rests on top of me, spent and sweaty, breathing, racing in and out. And after so much pleasure and excitement, I'm almost numb. Next time, he gasped, I'll tie you up as well. So that's part of that sensory deprivation that being blindfold brings out, because it just heightens all your other senses. Oh, I love that. That was Blindfold by the student. Yes, ma'am. I love it. Really, really good stuff. Really, really good stuff. And so, you know, we're talking about sensory deprivation when you are blindfolded. And so you can use textures. Because remember, the skin, the senses of the feel is enlightened and is heightened. So doing things like using ice cubes and feathers and don't forget food, because people love, at that time to feed your lover, feed them, strawberry and honey and whipped cream and all the stuff that sensually is just such a pleasure to taste and to touch. That would be in heightened. So the role play, though, you can do with or without a blindfold, but here's what I love to do. Create a character. Create your alter ego. Yes, ladies, create her, bring her out. Just like Beyonce has Sasha Fierce. Girl, get you a Sasha something. Get you something fierce. Because it really allows you to let go of your inhibitions. It allows you to be free to experiment, maybe do some things that you wouldn't do, but your alter ego would do. So role play, and that's with or without a blindfold. As I said to you, some of the best sex I've ever had was with a man who was always willing to role play with me. And we would go out and go to restaurants and bars and hang out, and I would pick him up, you know what I'm saying? And try to the bar and just hit on him sometimes. Act like we were strangers or lost lovers that we hadn't seen in a while. Now I know that people go and buy costumes. People will get policeman uniforms and maid uniforms, but that's all part of role play. So I encourage you to create an alter ego that you can bring out and do all the nasty shit that maybe you wouldn't do ordinarily, you would let her do. So let her come out. And another good one when you're role playing, or even if you're just asking, when the lover has a blindfold on, if you could ask questions like, what do you touch you here? Where do you want me to touch you first? How does that feel? Should I do it harder? Baby, how you feeling? That kind of shit, if you're in his ear and he's blindfolded, is going to set the room on fire. I'm telling you, it's going to be off the chain. Again, I would just really encourage you to create this fabulous alter ego to do all the stuff that you've been putting off or scared to do, or I don't want him to think this. Girl, let her out. Let her out to do her thing. So let's see. I'm going to read something else. There's so many good ones here. As I said today about role play, and I'm going to do this one because I thought it was kind of fun. This is called Lust Off. L-U-S-T off, Lust Off, and it's by Average Joe 69. Average Joe 69 wrote Lust Off. Hats off to you, Average Joe. We're going to see what you're working with. Oops. So let's read. Let's play sleazy games. Let's talk about how we fuck. Let's tell each other fantasies. I'll make you come with some luck. You start the sex tales. What's your secret thing? Tell me what you like most, more than anything. Do you like it nice and rough? Would you like a girl to be tied up, to be roughed up? Would you give them both a whirl? I'd love to be your sex slave. I'd love to be used and abused. I'd love to fuck you on demand, because this is the thing I'd choose. Would you be a hooker, selling your pussy for so much cash? $20, $40, a blowjob, or $50 for all of your ass? I could be a dominant. I'd tell girls what to do. I'd make them suck me when I want, and I'd fuck them while in my view. You tell me you'd be a hitchhiker. You'd climb into my truck. We'd pull into a dark garage and have a sneaky fuck. I can see you fidgeting. You seem to have a twitch, but I can see that you're horny. You got that really needy itch. I pull you onto your feet and I lead you to my bed. Now it's time to fuck you for real. No more dreams inside my head. Don't you love him? Go on, Average Joe 69. I love that. I love that. The sleazy games. I love it, love it, love it. And just what we were talking about, he says, start the sexy tales. What's your secret thing? Ladies, please don't be inhibited, and a blindfold will help you. Maybe if he's not looking at you, you can really express your freaky side. You know, we talk about this all the time, that we have to start asking for what we want. We have to be willing to express to our partner what our desires are, what turns us on, what freaky things we want to do, because it's also about female pleasure, not just about male pleasure. It's not just about when he comes, but it's also about you. And then here's the thing, and I say this all the time, the orgasm isn't the goal, it's the journey, the journey of pleasure. And so ladies, get into this. Get you a role play, girl. Create your character, bring out all your toys and stuff, so that, you know, you can really enjoy it, have a good time. Know that you're free, there's no judgment. And that's the other thing, ladies, with blindfolds. And I'll say this for all my fellow big girls, that sometimes you are inhibited because of your size. And so by having him wear a blindfold, it should eliminate that. It should eliminate that self-consciousness, or where you lack confidence. Having him or putting a blindfold on him will allow you to be as sexy as you want to be. I don't care what size you are. If you're a size 14 or a size 24, that if you put a blindfold on him, sister, let me tell you, all things are equal. Because your voice ain't no different from anybody else's, your touch is no different, your taste, all of that. So tap into that. You know, it will, if it will free you and allow you to just kind of be who you are and be as sexy as you want to be, and not be concerned about size and weight and wrinkles and fat and, you know, all this stuff. I say this all the time, you know, women over 50, ta-da, that's us. You know, it's a whole different story when you lay back on the bed and your titties go in the opposite direction. It's a whole nother ballgame. That's a whole nother level of sexuality. So I encourage you again, ladies, to use the blindfold, do role play, open up, get free. Jesus, get free, ladies, if nothing else, get free. So we talked about feeding our partner. We talked about we talked about freeing ourselves. We talked about using food, grapes and watermelon, those things that are juicy, that'll run down your lover's chin and all of that. Try it. That's all I'm saying. Try it. So I'm going to read one last story, I think. Let me see here. There's a couple, but let's see. This is Anonymous Fantasy. And this kind of goes in line with what we're talking about letting your mind run free. So this is by Sammy 4444. Sammy 4444 wrote Anonymous Fantasy. I let your words caress my mind. I feel them move through my body, dancing seductively through heavy lungs, pressing against my heart and my imagination like a welcome embrace at the doorway. I feel my body fill with anticipation, and part of it is with a ridiculous amount of pulsating, throbbing, capitulator reaction. Each thought that passes through my distracted, dirty mind, condensing with fantasy, dripping with sweaty passion, desire to hold you close. I push the door close with the softest moan of suspicious indiscretion. that could also use some lubrication. There's only room in here for your fantasy and me. Poetry spilling from fingertips, intentions pushing above the waistband of suffocating semi-casual Wednesday attire as I unzip clenched teeth bit by bit, inch by inch, all for your patient imaginary pleasure. Let my eyes undress you slowly. Let my mind run its fingers against your cheek as your eyes gently close in endless anticipation. Let me pull your imagination closer, our breath quickening as they gradually meet. In the silent tension of the distance, where my lips greet yours in a deep and we softly melt into each other. Feeling my gaze as it spills across your skin with longing like sweet, smooth nectar, flowing into every secret desire and private taste and place. A private passion, let me sweetly taste your body perfection, bit by bit, inch by inch, all for your patient imaginary pleasure. Finally, pull me close for my heavy breathing against your heavy sighing, pressing passion, pulsing pleasure as I push myself inside of you. Let me take in your tender smile while you take in thrusting deep, deeper and deeper with deepening mood and moan and need, pushing harder and faster, lusty and deep. Deeply breathing each other in, embraced by the high of this sensual sin, deep, gorgeous eyes and a seductive, soft, sexy, sweet forming on silky skin as we push into each other again and again and again and again. And what the hell, once again, until light spills, heat like cinnamon over mine, like needles and pins. And still, those seductive words of yours are already beginning again. Oh, when I tell you I love this was Anonymous Fantasy by Sammy444. I'm sorry, Sammy4444. Anonymous Fantasy. I love that. Yeah, that does it for me. It really does. Again, I just want to encourage, particularly as I said, women, please don't be afraid to experiment. Don't be afraid to open yourself up. And I'm telling you, role play will allow you to do that with confidence as well as using a blindfold. And then get those feathers and silk scarves and ties and all that shit. Bring that shit out and use it in the bedroom, because I'm telling you, it will wake some shit up. As I said when I opened the show, if you are in a rut, honey, you need to try some of this. Let that alter ego out. I'm right now trying to create her name. What we gonna call her? Because she needs to come out. She needs to. So I'm gonna read one. Let me see if we have time to read this one. This one. It's called Only Feel. It's by Yasu, Y-A-U, Yasu, and it's called Only Feel. I speak, see my mouth salivate, stretch wide, my tongue moving back and forth because of the gas put inside, my eye underneath blindfold, and my body waits impatiently. My legs open unexpectedly. I'm awaiting your touch so earnestly. skin is vibrating so fiercely. I try to sense where you are. I sense if you are close to touching me until I feel the bed creak. And so fast, you yank me. I feel my legs drag forward, then hoisted into the air. And you enter me, such force slamming into my body and crashing through my walls of hot anticipation. I can see you, but I feel you, only feeling you. Wasn't that nice? That was Only Feel by Yasu. I love that because it talks about just the heightened senses when you put on a blindfold and how it will heighten the sexual experience. So again, I just encourage my sister friends to go out there and do the damn thing because I have a whole world that awaits you with fantasy and role play. So create that alter ego, get out the blindfold, your silk scarves, your incense, all of that. Strawberries and the honey and the whipped cream, and go with time. Again, I just really enjoy being with you on a Sunday live because, as I said, it's to get sexy, to really just enjoy sensuality and eroticism on a Sunday. So as always, for spending time with me because as I said, I know you've got a ton of things you could be doing. So thank you so much for joining me. And as I said, if you don't have a lover, if you don't have a husband or a wife, a live-in lover, it's going to be hard. The rate this thing is going, I don't know when we're going to be out of a lockdown or where we can be free like we were before. So again, I thank you for your time and thank you for joining me. And as always, I leave you with this, that if I have offended, then just say so and all is mended. For these sweet and naughty things make for the best wet dreams. So grab your lover, but stay in your place. Stay home and practice your I'm about to come face. I love you guys. Thank you again. And we'll see you next Sunday.